I think it's a great idea because it adds to the lustre of the race. The fact that you might have something up your sleeve and you could be kidding the handicap.
Why's Willie got to win on Blaklion?
He has to ride the required amount of races over fences to qualify to ride in the Grand National, just to try and make it so that you have experienced riders riding in the race. They brought in this rule. I think it's 15 winners over fences.
What have you made of Blaklion, the RSA winner this season? This was him at Wetherby, a little bit lacklustre.
Very lacklustre. He almost looks a shadow of the horse that won the RSA. But Nigel Twiston-Davis's horses are in so much better form now than they were then. And he'll be hoping that that carries through to Blaklion. He's only a little horse. It's a tight track, Haydock, and we saw when Allaray ran round there last time, it can get rough round there. These are rough races, these Grand National trials. Forget the fact they're running over 3.5 miles. They'll be going 2-mile pace down over the first few fences.
And the winner will be?
I think it's very, very difficult to rule Blaklion out. Vieux, Rouge is the horse who loves it round Haydock. Cannot underestimate the power of being a winner at that track.
Set to go, Stuart Machin.
So steadily, this field of 13 are getting themselves organised now. Tour de Champs on the extreme left has joined the other 12. About to make a line. Flags raised. They're off. The starter gets them away for the Betfred Grand National Trial of 2017. Field of 13 on the short dart to the first. Gasline Boy in the centre, purple jacket prominent, and leads them. And they've all handled it safely with Cresswell Breeze prominent on the near side. Cruise Linen far side in the dark blue and yellow. And the nose banded Good to Know to Blaklion in a red jacket for Vicenti. Another nose banded gelding on the extreme left. Fence 2 is the first of the ditches. Akalim in the red and yellow was just about the last to land, preceded by Wakanda. Vieux Rouge, meanwhile, is held up towards the far side by Tom Scudamore, wearing a striped sleeve jacket, as Gasline Boy leads them over the third, jumping soundly. One more then to take up the straight first time, and it's Gasline Boy to Cruise Linen, Good to Know in the centre, Cresswell Breeze and Vicenti near side, and then Blaklion, the red silks, alongside Vieux Rouge as they cross out over that fourth. Then Houblon de Zobo, Tour de Champs, the emerald green jacket on the near side, far side the grey vintage clouds, followed by Warrentor, and Wakanda in the pale jacket of blue and yellow disputes last place with Akalim, and they've now got 2 circuits of the chase course ahead of them. So Gasline Boy leading them into the paddock turn. He's got Cruise Linen up his inner, and the leading pair are tracked by Good to Know. Vieux Rouge, Tom Scudamore right around the inside of Blaklion and Willie Twiston-Davis. Cresswell Breeze the mare under Dave Noonan, a yellow and orange jacket, about 6th place as they head off across the far side. Then Houblon de Zobo on the outside of the grey vintage clouds. That pair in turn shadowed by Vicenti. To Warrentor in the purple and pink, Wakanda, Tour de Champs, and the outside of the field, Akalim at the tail as they run downhill to the 5th. Gasline Boy and Cruise Linen, the leading pair, each just brushing the birch. Akalim landing in a bit of a heap in last place. On towards the fence 6 they go. Gasline Boy, Cruise Linen, Good to Know on the far side in the headgear. Blaklion didn't waste any time in the air there, jumped it very swiftly. Akalim was less assured in the back of the field. He's already being chased along at it still early stage. It completed about a mile. Gasline Boy, Cruise Linen, Blaklion, Good to Know. Again Akalim the last to land. He's 3 or 4 lengths adrift of the 12th placed Warrentor. They've got another plain fence to take on the far side before the second of the ditches. Gasline Boy was in close on that occasion. Cruise Linen was the more fluent of the leading pair. Blaklion, red jacket between them. Good to Know is out wide. Then Vieux Rouge and Vicenti. Cresswell Breeze, over the ditch they go. From Houblon de Zobo, Tour de Champs, green jacket wide. Then the grey vintage clouds to Wakanda, Warrentor. And Akalim doesn't appear to be much enjoying the experience at the back of the field. He's a little adrift and still being nudged along. Gasline Boy and Adrian Heskin leading the field then towards the end of their first circuit in the Betfred Grand National Trial. Cruise Linen, Tom O'Brien around the inside in second. Blaklion tracking the leading pair. Then the Beecher Chase winner, Vieux Rouge, who enters the straight in fourth, just ahead of the nose bandit Good to Know. The mare Cressel Breeze on the far side, Vicenti on the left alongside Houblon de Zobo to Tour des Champs. Then the stable mates, the grey Vintage Clouds from Wakanda, a pale jacket, Warrentor on the far side, and finally Akalim. And there Wakanda was just tickling the birch, and again Akalim landed in a heap. Fence 11, approaching halfway, it's another ditch. Gasline Boy, Cruise Linen, Black Lion, rising. Gasline Boy jumping soundly. Cruise Linen was quick through the air. Warrentor there was a little untidy, last but one. He's only got Akalim behind him, halfway up the straight for the second time. Gasline Boy, Cruise Linen on the far side. Black Lion rises and lands in third ahead of Vieux Rouge. And then Good to Know, Cressel Breeze. Tour des Champs in the centre. The green jacket has been making steady progress for the last half mile. Mid-division now, ahead of Houblon de Zobo, Vicenti on the near side. Then Vintage Clouds and Wakanda and Warrentor, and finally Akalim, and they stream out over fence 13. And again, Akalim at the back of the field didn't really convince. So one more circuit of the Haydock Chase course in front of them. A further 9 fences to jump in the national trial. And Gasline Boys enjoyed himself out in front. He's made every inch so far. Cruise Linen always prominent, still second. Black Lion stalks them in third. 3 lengths away, Vieux Rouge chasing the leading trio. Tour des Champs then has made ground to dispute fifth on the outside of Cresswell Breeze. Good to Know's having to be chased along from Houblon de Zobo, Vicenti. Then Vintage Clouds, Wakanda still patiently ridden. Warrentor, and Akalim continues to toil on at the back end of the field, but he'd now be some 30 lengths off the leader, Gasline Boy. Across the far side they go then, on to fence 14, and Gasline Boy, one of the 7 Roundocks Health Grand National entries in this field, leads. Jumps it well enough from Cruise Linen and Black Lion, Vieux Rouge. Tour des Champs. Good to Know has been under pressure for a while. Another one to have a little bit of pressure applied is Cressel Breeze. Vicenti's making ground on the far side of the sheepskin noseband as they take another plain fence. The grey Vintage Clouds is inching closer. Wakanda isn't threatening to get involved, however. And Gasline Boys just pressing on a little in front as they head to the last mile of the race. Midway across the far side, Gasline Boy, Vieux Rouge and Black Lion jumping up. They disputed second. The other end of the field, Good to Know, Wakanda and Akalim are seemingly struggling. Vicenti now comes under pressure, and so too Houblon de Zobo, and Gasline Boy still leads, but he's chased by Black Lion and Vieux Rouge. Then Cruise Linen back to fourth. Tour des Champs coming under pressure. Good to Know has been pulled up. The grey Vintage Clouds is still picking them off, just jumping past Cresswell Breeze over the ditch. Then Houblon de Zobo, Warrentor, Vicenti, Wakanda and Akalim, but it's Gasline Boy who's been given a beautiful ride in front so far by Adrian Heskin, chased by top weight Black Lion in the hands of Willie Twist and Davis. 8 pounds between the two. Black Lion conceding weight to Gasline Boy. Vieux Rouge is 2 lengths away in third. Half a dozen lengths has opened up to Cruise Linen, then Cresswell Breeze. Vintage Clouds' effort now looks to be petering out, followed by Warrentor, Houblon de Zobo, Vicenti and Tour des Champs. In line for home, a half mile to travel. There's the 4th last coming up to them. Gasline Boy, Black Lion on the near side. Gasline Boy still in front. Vieux Rouge is staking his claim. Meanwhile, Tour des Champs and Wakanda have been pulled up, and there are 3 abreast as they draw towards the last of the ditches. Black Lion on the left, Vieux Rouge attacking on the right. Gasline Boy now backing out of it. He's back in third ahead of Cruise Linen, who made a bad mistake there, and Vieux Rouge and Black Lion, 2 Grand National entries, look set to fight out the finish of the Betfred National Trial. They've still got 2 fences to jump, the penultimate one now. Vieux Rouge rose just ahead from Black Lion. They're 8 lengths clear of Gasline Boy, Cruise Linen and Cresswell Breeze. Scudamore draws the whip on Vieux Rouge. Black Lion trying to raise another effort. The 22nd and final fence is looming large. Vieux Rouge and Black Lion only a half length between them. They set off up the Haydock run-in. 2 weary horses grinding out the finish. Vieux Rouge finding plenty for Scudamore's efforts, and he's keeping Black Lion at bay, and the Beecher Chase winner lays down his national claims. Vieux Rouge takes the Betfred Grand National Trial. Black Lion went down fighting in second. The Vintage Clouds stayed on late into third, and then Gasline Boy and Cresswell Breeze.
And we might just be looking at the new Grand National favourites. Vieux Rouge won the Beecher Chase, now wins the Betfred Grand National Trial. Number 40 in the national list, he definitely gets in. He's off 10 stone 7, and horses that have won this trial and gone on to Grand National glory. Freebooter in 49, Sundew in the 50s, the Great Red Rum in the 70s, Party Politics, that huge horse did the double. Mick Fitzgerald, can this horse do the double?